How are you? Joe Rocco here, documenting the dance, Reel Reels number 4. Today's reel is going to be about inner peace over validation. And I want to read I have an intentional living statement, which I go over my values one a day. And today's was inner peace over validation. Chase alignment, not applause. So my statement was, I will embody inner peace by choosing alignment over approval, staying true to my values, even when no one is watching or applauding. So let's start with cultivating inner peace, which obviously this is something that everybody would love to do. Some don't even think it's possible to have it. I am a testament, and I know truth only through my own experience and from what I've read and heard from others. But inner peace, no matter what's happening in your life, can be achieved. Now, I want to explain this because some people might get confused with the fact that in the moment something happens really bad, it is very hard to be at peace in that moment. But through practice, belief, and consistency in doing the correct exercises like meditation, your inner peace will come back no matter what the situation is. So if it's something that happens in your life and you need to deal with it, you deal with it. And that doesn't mean hiding your emotions or trying to act like everything is okay when it's not. It's actually like dealing with your emotion and letting that storm go through you and not break you. Like a palm tree. When a palm tree is in a storm, a hurricane, a superstorm, tropical storm, doesn't really matter. Instead of the tree trying to be very straight, rigid, and unflexible, which would cause it to snap and be uprooted, a palm tree allows the wind to blow through it. And if you see in a storm, a palm tree will go back and forth, back and forth. And what is actually happening with the palm tree is instead of resisting this force, it's allowing the force to go through it. Now, that doesn't mean that the tree doesn't feel the force. But at the same time, because the tree is allowing the winds to go through it, instead of trying to fight back at it, when the storm is over, that palm tree, its roots and its whole being, its whole thing, is much stronger. Now, when you have other types of trees that stand straight and fight that wind, they crack, they break, they get uprooted. Now that tree dies. There is no more life for that tree. So inner peace is cultivated by you doing a daily practice of meditation. There is no woo-woo in meditation. Do not let it take you to a place where you think that you have to forget all your thoughts. Clear your mind, because that is not the case. It's not about clearing your mind completely and having no thoughts. I don't even know if that's possible, because you're even thinking when you're sleeping in your dream. So I think what you have to understand about meditation is that it's trying to focus on one thing. For what I do is I focus on my breath and the energy going up and down through my spinal cord from the lower chakra to the top chakra. And while I'm breathing, I focus on energy, light, going from the chakra of where I'm breathing all the way up to the top and down. And while I'm doing that, I have diaphragmatic breathing. So my stomach is expanding on the in and it's going in on the way out. And when my thoughts go somewhere, I always go back to the breath, because what's going to happen is you're going to get taken to different places, and that's okay. just remember that when you get away from the breath, come back to the breath and focus on the energy. Now, in the beginning, I used to pass out cold. I tried to do 2 long meditation sessions. I'm not really sure why I was falling asleep, but it was about 2 weeks long. I did not give up, but I shortened my sessions. And instead of doing them at night, I actually started doing them in the morning after I was let's say like a half hour getting ready, and then have that morning energy, and it totally changed the game. Never fell asleep again. And I started with like 10 minutes. I now do about 20 to 30 minute sessions, which are perfect for me. And if time doesn't allow it, instead of me skipping it, I'll do a 10 minute or 15 minute. I always try to do at least a 15 minute session. And I listen to meditation music, which is like sound bowls, different frequencies. I don't do the guided stuff. And it has really changed my life. So let's talk about inner peace. Because it's very hard to achieve inner peace if you are looking outside for validation for everything in your life. How do I look today? Am I driving the right car? Do I have the best brands? Do I have the newest pocketbook? All of these things that are exterior, are people looking at me funny? Am I showing up correct on social media? Oh no, everybody thinks that I should be doing these videos this way, but I'm doing it that way. Oh, I messed up here. I just can't stay on top of it. All of that means nothing. That is stressing yourself out. That is a resistance. What you need to do is when that happens, and I'm not immune to any of this. I just know how to deal with it and play defense. And when you do that, it's like a martial artist. The martial artist will feel the punch, but it knows how to take a punch. It knows how to deflect a punch. It knows how to train. The same thing goes for your mind and your heart. So when you want inner peace, especially in the days of social media, you can't look for vanity metrics. How many likes? How many people said I did good? Are people following me? Are people sharing it? All of this stuff. It doesn't matter. If you're doing it from a place of being genuine and authentic, and you really care about helping, it doesn't matter how many people look, because you should really just worry about helping one person. If you help more, God bless. But having inner peace over validation is huge, because why get into doing anything if you're doing it for other people's approval, for their expectations, for what they think is good, or where they think you should be, or what they think you should do, or how you should live? There's many of these things. And what I've learned in life is that no matter what happens, happens. And living in fear actually puts you in a place of being stuck, being scared. And that fear doesn't have to be something to kill you. It can be just embarrassment, or fear of not being smart enough, or fear of not staying on top of your thing, or fear of not being a good mother or father or brother or sister or husband, wife. It doesn't matter. Fear can either be debilitating or it can make you move forward. Use your fear to make you move forward. Don't let it make you get stuck. So now, let's say inner peace over validation is because the days you need to focus on you, your family, and how you feel inside. And don't worry about what these other people think of you, of what you're producing, of what you're making, of what you're saying, of where you're going, of how you're living, of how you're breathing, how you're dressing. All of it doesn't matter. Because when you do that, you're living in a world of comparison, and you're always trying to be, it's never good enough. You're always trying to be as good or better than that person. a better car or a better home, a better social media feed, a better video, a better thumbnail, a better production. It doesn't matter. What matters is your inner peace. Now, when I say you can achieve inner peace, and it doesn't matter where you are, I was in prison during COVID in a very, it's actually shut down, this prison, hundreds of years old, 110 years old it was, asbestos, all this crazy stuff, rats, mice, it's disgusting. The place was nasty, freezing cold water, locked up in a cage. But yet during this time when I lost everything, all of my money, my businesses, my homes, everything was gone. I was able to achieve a place of inner peace. And I got that by focusing on what I was grateful for and praying. And I didn't pray to say, please help me. I said, thank you for giving me this wonderful life and allowing me to be open and understanding to how it all works. Thank you for saving my son and adjusting those test results that looked so scary at one point. But I knew and I believed in the greater being of God, universe, whatever you want to say. However, it's without religion. There's something bigger that is, I believe, everything, and we're inside it, and it's inside you. There is no separation. We're all a part of it. And when you're grateful for what you have and you focus on those things and you pray prayers of praise and thankfulness versus please help me, oh, I'm scared, that's the opposite. That's a fear-based place to be. And what matters most is your well-being. Inner peace is a feeling of calmness or serenity. And it's something that when you try to use external validations and you begin to feel the feelings of anxiety or stress, that is the opposite of inner peace. So when you start to feel those feelings based off of your external validation, you need to focus on alignment and getting yourself aligned with not what other people want from you or expect of you or know what you're really good at and should be doing, but for some reason isn't for you, right? You could be good at something and not want to do it, right? So cultivating that inner peace is really about a practice of mindfulness and meditation and being present and thankful and grateful. All these little things matter when cultivating inner peace and to have that feeling. It kind of feels like when you look at an ocean or a lake, or I should say the bay, where there's no waves and it's just flat water and all you see is the reflection of beauty around you. That is what it feels like when you have inner peace. Once the waters start to move and get shaken up, this is when the anxiety and fear and all these other types of emotions start to come up inside of you and break that inner peace. So focus on inner peace over validation and cultivate that. Because once you start from there and you focus on the inside, everything else around you will start to flourish. And it doesn't need to look a certain way for what other people expect. What it needs to do, it just needs to feel right for you and be aligned in what you believe, not anybody else, not what other people expect, not what they think that you should be or should not be doing. Namaste. I hope and pray that I help somebody today. God bless everyone and have an amazing day.